Hey, Good Sam, this is Pastor Jed, and I have the daily news. Good news of great joy. We're being reminded of good news of great joy on a daily basis, and I think we need this reminder on a daily basis because we're living in a world that is full of darkness. We're living in a world that is full of anxiety. We're living in a world that is full of confusion, and so we need to rally together. We need to gather in God's presence. We need to study God's word. We need to be reminded of God's goodness and his faithfulness. This is what Advent's all about. It's about preparing our hearts to receive the best gift that God has given. Good news of great joy. And we need to be reminded of this on a daily basis. On Sunday, we were reminded of Mary. Mary was a no one who came from nowhere, but God recognized her and God used her to do something that had never been done. God used her to bring Jesus, God's best gift ever. We have a lot to learn from Mary because Mary was gentle, Mary was humble, and Mary was generous. We've been asking ourselves the question, how can we be like Mary? How can we say yes to the things that God is asking us to say yes to? Even if it feels like we're a no one and we're from nowhere, how can we be a part of God's bigger story? How can we be a part of God's bigger plan? As I mentioned, Advent is a season in which we address the darkness that we are living in. I think we're living in a lot of darkness. I think there's a lot of confusion. I think there's high anxiety. And I think some of that is creeping into the church. I think about where Good Sam is right now and where we have been a year ago. And I think we're not quite as strong or healthy. I don't think we're expressing our love in the same way that we were a year ago. We have an opportunity of coming together, of recognizing reality and recognizing who God is calling us to be in this season. The beautiful thing is I think this is a situation that we can easily address and we can fix. It involves speaking our heart. It involves listening to each other. It involves making a recommitment to become who God has called us to be and who God has called our church to be. And I believe that this Sunday, as we gather together as a church, it's the first step that we take together at discovering who God is calling us to be in the coming year. And so I hope that you will come. I hope that you will bring your questions and your thoughts. I hope that we hear about the heart of this church and the plans that God has for us. We need daily reminders. We need daily news of God's good news of great joy. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I'll see you then. Blessings.